Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of Let's Move Austin. I'm Chris Angel, your co-host. Here with Teresa Bastion.
Hello, everybody.
I always steal your thunder on that. We'll have to figure out, I don't know. I just like it when I say it, but I like it when you say it too, so.
No, I'll let you say it. Say my name, Chris. Say my name.
Go team. Go Teresa. Teresa, yes. All right, here we go.
Stop that.
So we are now in episode 13, actually.
Lucky number 13.
Of Let's Move Austin. And today last time we talked about back to school.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of riding the momentum of the school thing into.
Because it's my favorite time of year. I absolutely love back to school. Can I just say everything about school supplies. I always feel like this is the time to turn the new leaf on the calendar. I make more resolutions in the fall than in New Year's because it's after all the holidays and you just saw your family and ate too much. Back to school is where it's at.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, and so we're going to talk about school districts today. What is on your mind about school districts?
Well, I have a lot to say about schools. If you know me at all, and I think a lot of people watching this probably do, you know that I used to be a teacher. I'm fanatic in my passion for public education.
Yeah.
And what I didn't realize before I moved to Austin years ago, but still, I didn't realize what a large district Austin was. And it has so many high schools, middle schools, elementary schools. And beyond that, you can say you live in Austin. Your address can be in the city limits, but your school is actually not Austin ISD. It actually could be Pflugerville or Leander. There are different school districts that service the same Austin addresses. Wow. So you, as a real estate professional who often works with families that are incredibly particular about the schools their kids go to.
Yep.
I made it my absolute number one priority to educate myself about the schools, not just in Austin, but the surrounding districts too.
Yeah.
And I would challenge just about any realtor I know to match my level of expertise and enthusiasm for this.
Yeah, I think that's a big deal. Especially when you're a family, I know people will pick their house specific to what school is my kid going to go to.
Absolutely. And, as a parent of someone, my kiddo had special needs. I mean, he's doing great now. He's a senior, but when he was younger, it was very touch and go academically and socially. Yeah. And being able to find a school that provided the level of service my kiddo needed was priority number one.
Yeah.
And so I really have a heart for people, whether their kid is on the, kind of extra needy end of the spectrum or the extremely gifted end of the spectrum or anywhere in between. If your kiddo has a passion or a need, you deserve to work with someone who can help you find a school that's going to fill that need.
I love this because it all of a sudden now real estate transcends just the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the yard, right? Because now it's about my family. And that's actually, I think for a lot of us, one of our biggest reasons, one of our biggest whys in life.
The point anyway, who cares if you've got that great playscape in the backyard if your kid is not successful in school? It's it impacts every fiber of your being.
Yeah, this is good too because, candidly, when I was selling real estate and I would take a listing, I'm shooting it straight with you, Teresa. I didn't know about the schools. Where I sold real estate had two different kind of cities that people kind of went to. And they were very different school districts, and I didn't know anything about either. So I would just ask somebody next to me, an agent next to me, hey, what school district is this house in? And then they'd tell me, and I'd put that in the MLS as I was listing the house, clueless. And I don't think I'm unique. I don't think I'm alone in that.
Well, and I'll give you a little bit of a pass. A, you didn't have kids yet. B, there weren't a lot of other schools to pick from in that town. Because I know, we go way back. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. In Austin, there are, almost a dozen high schools to pick from and still be living in the city of Austin, in Austin ISD. Mm-hmm. And so is your kid interested in performance? Mm-hmm. That narrows down a couple of the schools.
Right.
If your kid need are they after a more traditional high school experience with all the clubs and all the sports? That narrows out a couple schools. Right. Does your kid need a smaller experience, kind of a school within a school model? Mm-hmm. That, Yeah.
Do you feel like families know their options in that? Of what's available inside of each school?
No, they don't. And so what I've made it one of my missions to do is working with the Austin Board of Realtors. We have an education task force,
Mm,
and it's our goal to educate our realtor population about what different schools have to offer.
mm.
Because you always use this story with brands, right?
Yeah.
Chris, how many kinds of soda pop can you think of?
Like
Different
two,
brands.
3. Yeah.
Yeah, name them. I mean, what
Yeah.
are the when I
Coke,
say one
Pepsi,
soda? Yeah,
Dr. Pepper.
and we both know that you can go down the aisle and there's,
Right.
dozens, if not hundreds of
There's a whole
choices.
aisle for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So same thing I think happens with the schools.
Right.
If you're a realtor and this isn't like your super number one passion and you're not some kind of rain man about education, like I might be, I'm not saying
Yeah.
that's necessarily positive. It's a little OCD, but you think of, oh, I've got clients, they've got high school kids, they want a good school. It's this one or this one.
Yeah.
You can think of all of them in your head at once. But just because this one and this one are good schools doesn't mean they're good for that particular kid or
Right.
they're the best fit for that
Right.
particular kid. Or if the
Love that.
family can't have the budget to buy a good home, not one that's substandard and needs repairs, but a good, decent home in that district, that now they're going to feel they're selling their kids short because they can't afford to be in that school. That's a
Yes.
shame. So
That's an
that's what,
interesting variable.
yeah. Because I mean, just because,
Mm.
let's take one school. It's pretty much 350 and up to even get into that school. The school adjoining it is an amazing school in its own right, and you can buy a good newer home in that neighborhood for 250.
Wow. Wow.
They are next to each other. They are both in the same part of Austin.
Right.
So if you don't realize that this other school that is more affordable has a lot of positives and you just go with the knee jerk, well, there's Coke, you're
Right.
missing out and you're not helping.
Missing out on Pepsi.
Yeah. Or,
You're
or
missing out
RC.
on
What about
Barks
RC?
root beer. Yeah. You're missing out on some kombucha. Hey, we found some kombucha called Dr. Kombucha. It tastes like Dr. Pepper, but
I'll
it's
let my daughter
kombucha.
know. She's really into that
That's
review.
good. Yeah, but I think that's a good point. Like there's unique opportunities
Mhm.
for your situation that you may not even know, just because all you can think of are the two big schools that you would think
Yeah.
of. And having someone like Teresa to talk through what are some other options, I just think that's super valuable.
Well, I mean, not to brag, but I do too.
Yeah.
It's super, it's fun for me. I love going, I go on school tours. I've
Yeah.
met most of the principals of high schools in Austin. I can pretty much tell you what the vibe is at the
Yeah.
different schools. But even within my own neighborhood in Southwest Austin, there are 4 elementary schools, and they each have a very different feel and flavor. So I often will recommend to parents, why don't you go to a PTA meeting? Like this is if they're not moving in from out of town, they're already here and they have the opportunity. Go to a PTA meeting. Just see if you can visit the morning assembly, or if they have a school tour. Most of them have some kind of tour. See if these feel like your people, like that in a sense that this feels like a community that shares the goals you and your family have for your kiddo.
I feel like, I don't know if you've created a tagline for yourself yet or not around this, but it seems like you should be like, the school, school families realtor or something like that.
No, I guess. I don't know. I kind of have a hard time with all the tagline sloganing stuff.
Yeah, whatever the
I always feel
wordsmithing
like
of it.
hey.
Well, whatever the wordsmithing of it is, I think when people think of real estate and buying a home or selling a home with a family in a school district, the school district buyers should think about Teresa Bastian when they're thinking about real estate.
Well, it would make me really excited if everybody did. But no, I do, in all seriousness, consider it to be one of the most important things of my job is to guide people that don't know the schools.
Yeah.
And especially when they know their kiddo needs things a certain way or would be, really benefited from that. And I take it very seriously.
Yeah.
So that would be a big honor. Maybe someone out there listening has a great education related tagline that won't make me feel too smooth. You can write your suggestions.
Yeah, right? Seriously, please do that. So Teresa has a tagline that she doesn't feel schmarmy saying.
Thanks.
For all your, school needs in real estate. Think of Teresa. All right, Teresa, if people want to sort of reach out to you about whether it's buying or selling a house in a school district, or even just questions about school districts, like how can they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. You can call or text me. My cell phone number will be on the screen, as will my email address, and that goes directly to me.
Awesome. I love it. Teresa, thanks for your time today. Another great episode, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you for letting me talk about schools and real estate, two of my favorite things.
Love it.
Bye, everybody.